If anybody won this weekend, Mark Packer, if any of the institutions of the ACC should be king of the weekend, I think I'm confident in saying it'd be the Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University.
This right here is called Hokie Stone. See this right here?
Oh, boy.
And I'm going to rub it all day. You know why? You know why I'm going to rub this Hokie Stone all day? Because nobody.
All it does is win.
Let me tell you something. Nobody, and I mean nobody, had a better streak of 3 or 4 days in a row this weekend than the Hokies. Hokie high. Let me tell you something. I want to be a boy from VPI because the men and women, man, it didn't matter if it was hoops. It didn't matter if it was wrestling. I don't care what it was. If you're from Blacksburg, life is good this week. You can't have a better weekend than what the Hokies did, man. They had it out of sight. They covered everything. If the Hokies participated, it was a W, right? A W for VT.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where you want to start? Friday night, wrestling. They beat Duke 42-3. Then on Saturday, make the short trip over to Carmichael Arena. But here they go, 42-3. Bang. Get Duke at Cameron. Actually, it might have been at Card Gym. I said Cameron. It's probably next door at Card Gym.
It didn't matter where Saturday, it was. It didn't matter where it was. When the Hokies come rolling into town, it did not matter. It started Thursday night when the Hokies knocked off number 2 NC State women's hoops. Then it rolled in to Friday wrestling, and then it rolled into Saturday more wrestling and hoops. I mean, we're going to cover all of it. But you mentioned Mekhi Lewis. Now, he was on the show about, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks? Mm-hmm. He is a bad man now. He is a bad man. He gets on the mat, it's like, you want to just do this. I want a timeout here. Can we make sure somebody doesn't get hurt? Seriously. He's just ridiculous. How are you going to beat that guy? I mean, seriously, how do you beat that guy? Right? Forget it.
All right.
Forget it.
Nice weekend for Tony Roby's team. All right. Now, you mentioned women's basketball. Thursday night, they get the upset of number 2 NC State, right? In overtime.
Yep.
Scored an NCAA record 24 points in the overtime session.
Might have been more.
And then yesterday, was it 24 or 26? They scored a bunch of points, right?
It was 26.
Set an NCAA record 26.
Yeah.
So then yesterday, a critical NCAA bubble game. Asia Shepherd on fire from the perimeter. Another big ball game for Liz Kitley. She finished with 27 points and 8 rebounds. Long one there from out on the wing. And they beat Carolina in women's basketball 73-69. Nice win for Kenny Brooks. Validated the win on Thursday night. Now all of a sudden, Virginia Tech sitting there at 4-7 in the league and feeling like maybe they got a little run in them in the second half, I bet.
Well, the one thing's for sure, we talked about the do factor with Kenny Brooks' club, right? Prior to the NC State game Thursday night, and how many close losses. And we said they had the do factor. At some point in time, they're going to break down the door. And lo and behold, they knock off number 2 NC State. And now they win a close one against North Carolina. So all that stuff sometimes evens itself out. And if you're Kenny Brooks and company, you're thinking, hey, we're about ready to go on a roll. The basketball gods really kind of owe us a few. And so just, again, you could not have scripted a better 4 or 5 days for Virginia Tech athletics.
So all of that sets the table for what Saturday night was.
Mm-hmm.
Because Saturday night was the Virginia Tech basketball game on the men's side. And the Hokies really did a number, especially on the defensive end in the second half. Meanwhile, Keve Aluma, 29 points, a career high, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, scoring from everywhere. Got some great help from his teammates. Hunter Couture will be with us in the 9 o'clock hour. There he is, banging one down from the perimeter. And at the end of the day, Hokies made it look easy, Pack.
Yeah, this is one of those deals, if you saw the final score, you'd go, wow, man, the Hokies wore out Virginia. If you watched the first half and left for the day, you'd have gone, well, Virginia's in control. They're going to do their thing. 21-4 is how Virginia Tech closed the game. They doubled up Virginia in the second half, and Man alive, you talk about a plot twist weekend with the counting and the ACC at the very top on the men's side. We'll get into that throughout the course of the show. But it started with what Virginia Tech did this weekend. And that was a statement game by Mike Young and his guys because, number one, in-state, always intense. Number two, if you're going to sit there and say, hey, do we have a shot at making a run to win the conference in the regular season? Quite frankly, you had to win that game. You had to win that one because you lose that one, all of a sudden Virginia's got you by 3. And again, I know there's still a lot of basketball to be played in February and early March, but that was a statement game that, number one, hey, when you boys do accounting, when everybody starts talking about Florida State and Virginia separated, which they had, I mean, you had to go catch them, but that was one of those we caught you kind of games. So humongous win for Virginia Tech. I mean, just could not get any bigger.
I hold in my hand an updated card with the ACC standings. Virginia, Virginia Tech, and Florida State, all right there, Pack. I mean, those 3, we might go all the way to the end on these 3. And then maybe throw one more in. Who knows? But, man, the Hokies, the Noles, and the Cavaliers look pretty solid right now.
Well, compliments to Virginia Tech knocking off Virginia. And we'll talk about what Georgia Tech did to Florida State. The 2 biggies, if you will, came back to the pack this weekend. All right.